I'm going to teach you how I created this modern, mature makeup look. First, you have to prep your skin. So I'm starting off with the Embryolisse moisturizer, and then I'm spraying the D'Alba First Serum Spray. This is going to add extra hydration to make sure that her foundation goes on really smooth. When I'm prepping the top of her eye with concealer, I'm making sure that I'm not using too much. It's just enough to add a little base. To make sure that this doesn't crease, I did add some translucent powder on top. She does have delicate soft features, so I'm making sure that I'm not making her eyebrows too big. I'm filling them in with the color medium brown, and then I'm going over top with the color taupe. I combined the two different colors of eyebrow pencils so that it matches her hair color really well. And you can see here what a difference eyebrows makes, even when it's just a slight enhancement. One of the best products that you can pick up as a mature woman is a skin tint. I'm using the Milk Skin Tint in the shade 2, and I'm buffing this in with the 109 brush from BK Beauty. You can see that my client here does have redness in her skin, but the skin tint covers it up really nicely. Because she does have that redness, I am stippling this into her skin, and I'm not using a lot of pressure. So if you wanted this to be a little bit softer and not as much coverage, you would just add more pressure onto your brush when you're buffing it into the skin. As you age, heavy matte foundations can look really bad on the skin. So that's why I recommend a skin tint, because it's going to leave your skin glowy and it's not going to settle into fine lines. And you can see as I'm blending the skin tint out, how beautiful it's making her skin look. She really looks younger and healthy and vibrant. It's the same with concealer. I'm using the Natasha Denona, and it is really hydrating, and I'm only using a little bit, just like on the top of her eye. She doesn't have dark circles, so I'm just using it for a bit of color. I'm adding some pressure and pushing it into her skin. I'm adding that pressure because I don't want full coverage. It's really just to add a little bit of color. This is the A506 brush from BK Beauty, and I highly recommend you get this concealer brush. I use it every single time that I blend out concealer. After I have the concealer all blended out, I do go over with translucent powder to set it so it doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles, and it will mattify it and make it look more natural. Now, she's all one color, so we need to add some dimension to her skin and brighten it up. I'm using the shade 2 from Charlotte Tilbury, and I am putting this into her contour, her temple, her forehead, and above the arch of her eyebrow, her jawline, and around her nose. Now, this is not a contour shade, okay? So this is not a gray shade that's going to sink in your features. This is really used to brighten up the skin and add dimension. And because of that, we can put it on the temples and we can put it into the contour areas. It's not going to make you look sunken in and older. It's actually going to make you look younger and vibrant because of the color. I am using translucent powder in a few areas on her. And just keep in mind, as a mature woman, you still need to use setting powder, okay? This is a powder that doesn't have any color, and it is going to set your makeup. And it's also going to blur the effects of pores. To keep things really cohesive, I'm using that bronzer as her eyeshadow. So this is going on the crease and then all the way on top of the eyelid. This is going to make everything look really modern when we're using the same color in a few different spots. I'm using the color Ecstasy from Charlotte Tilbury as her blush, and I like to fill up the cheeks with blush. Again, I'm going for a really radiant, youthful look. I'm not going for something that's really snatched and lifted. I like a full look. So I'm putting this on the cheeks and then up towards the temple. As soon as I'm done with the blush, I am setting with that translucent powder. Very important to use because it is going to kind of erase any texture if you're pushing it into the skin. You're not using a setting powder that has color that's going to add cakiness, okay? And you can see as I'm applying the setting powder, it's not making her look cakey. It's still giving her that youthful, radiant look that we're going for, but now her makeup isn't going to move around on her. Instead of using a liquid black or a colorful eyeliner, we're using chocolate brown. This is the color Limitless Brown from Makeup Forever, and we are putting this very softly on the lash line. I'm trying to make this as soft as possible so that it doesn't take over her entire eye. I'm adding a really soft, natural lash. I'm taking that same bronzer and adding it on the lower lash line. So I'm not using an eye pencil that's going to be really harsh. This is going to be really soft, but just enhancing the lower lash line. To make your look really modern, keep your eyes, your cheeks, and your lips all within the same tone. I lined her lips first, then I'm using the color Sunset Dazzle from Alicia over top. It's important that you're using soft, natural, neutral colors, all within the same tone to keep your look really fresh and modern. So this is my client's updated makeup look.